Hi guys! Welcome back sa inyong lahat. Welcome to this new math lesson ni Sir Kenchong.
This is the second part of our lesson on factoring polynomials. This is factoring difference of two squares. So how do we determine kung ang polynomials ba ay difference of two squares? So una sa lahat, dapat difference muna siya ng dalawang terms. Ibig sabihin ng difference ay ito yung answer in a subtraction problem. So, ibig sabihin, dapat merong minus sign between the two terms. Or, merong minus sign in exactly one of the terms. Next, dapat yung dalawang terms natin ay mga squares. Ibig sabihin ng squares ay meron silang square root. Or, pwedeng isulat as a square of another expression. Gaya nitong 9. Pwede nating isulat ang 9 as 3 squared. Gaya rin ng 25x squared. Pwede nating isulat ang 25x squared as the square of 5x. Okay. Gaya rin ng c to the 4th d to the 6th power. Pwede natin yang isulat as the square of c squared d cubed. Yeah. So these are examples of squares. Now let's try to determine if these polynomials are difference of two squares or hindi. Una, 9x squared minus 1. So meron bang minus sign between them? Yes, meron. Ito ba ay pwedeng ma-express as a square of an expression? Pwede. 3x. Ito 1. Kasi 1 times 1 ay 1. So, this one is a difference of two squares. How about this one? So, may minus sign din between the two terms. Ito ay perfect square. How about 99? Is 99 a perfect square? Hindi. So, this is not a difference of two squares. Number 3. 4a squared plus 49. So, this one is a perfect square. Yes. 49 perfect square din. Kaya lang hindi siya difference of two squares. Sum siya ng two squares. So, hindi siya dots. Number 4. 9x squared minus 25y cubed. So, this one is a difference of two terms. Pwede. 9x squared is squared din naman siya. 25 is squared din. How about y cubed? Is y cubed a square? Hindi. So, hindi rin ito difference of two squares. So, how do we factor difference of two squares? We actually have two steps only in factoring difference of two squares. So, let's have this example as we discuss each step. Factor 4x squared minus 9y squared. Ang unang step is to find for the square roots of the first term and the second term. Okay, so ang 4x squared, ang square root niya ay 2x. Kasi 2x times 2x ay 4x squared. Yung second term naman, ang kanyang square root ay 3y. Dahil 3y times 3y is equal to 9y squared. Second step, to write the factors of this difference of two squares, we simply write the product. So, write the product of the sum and difference of these two terms. So, we have 2x plus 3y. Yan yung sum ng dalawang square roots. And 2x minus 3y. Yun yung difference ng dalawang square roots. At ito na ngayon ang complete factored form ng ating 4x squared minus 9y squared. Next example. 49x squared minus 100. So, i-check muna natin if this is a difference of two squares. So, merong minus sign between them. Tama. And then, 49x squared. Meron bang square root? Meron din. Yung 100, meron ding square root. So, yung first step natin, hanapin natin yung square roots ng ating first term at saka yung ating second term. The square root of 49 is 7. Square root naman ng x squared ay x. So, the square root of 49x squared is 7x. Next, square root naman ng 100 ay 10. Okay, second step, we write the product of the sum and difference of the two square roots. So, sulat natin yung sum ng dalawang square roots na to at yung difference ng dalawang square roots na to. So, we have 7x plus 10 and 7x minus 10. Therefore, 49x squared minus 100 is equal to the quantity 7x plus 10 times the quantity 7x minus 10. Okay. Next, let's have example number 2. Negative 25 plus 16x squared. Is this a difference of 2 squared? Hindi naman minus yung nasa gitna nila. Pero, pwede nating ayusin ito. Unahin natin yung positive 16x squared. Ihuli natin yung negative 25. So, we now have 16x squared minus 25. So, isa na siyang difference of 2 squared. We get the square root of 16x squared. Square root ng 16 ay 4. Square root ng x squared ay x. Yung 25 naman, yung square root niya ay 5. Okay. Now, we write the product of the sum and difference of the two square roots. 4x plus 5. 4x minus 5. Therefore, 16x squared minus 25 is equal to the quantity 4x plus 5 times the quantity 4x minus 5. Number 4. 20x cubed minus 5x. Mukhang 20 ay hindi siya square, pati rin yung 5. Pero baka pwede naman natin gamitin yung una nating factoring technique at yun ay yung greatest common monomial factor.
Take note, factor the GCMF or the greatest common monomial factor first kung meron, before applying other factoring techniques.
So, baka merong greatest common monomial factor itong dalawang terms na to. 20 and 5. Meron ba silang GCF? Meron. It's 5. How about x cubed and x? Common ang x. So, kapag common ang variables, hanapin natin yung merong mas maliit na exponent. At yun ay etong x na to. So, 5x is our GCMF. Hanapin na natin yung remaining factor by dividing the polynomial by the GCMF. 20 divided by 5 is 4. X cubed divided by x is x squared. Meron pang dalawang x na naiwan. Ayan. Ito naman. Minus 5 divided by 5 is 1. And x divided by x, wala nang x na naiwan. And look at the remaining factor. Yung remaining factor natin ngayon ay isang difference of two squares. So, i-factor pa natin para ma-factor completely yung polynomial na ito. So, equals, copy natin yung GCMF. Itong ating 4x squared minus 1 ay isang difference of two squares. So, hanapin natin yung square roots ng first term at saka ng second term. Ang square root ng 4x squared ay 2x. Dahil 2x times 2x ay 4x squared. Ang square root naman ng 1 ay 1. Dahil 1 times 1 equals 1. Therefore, itong difference of two squares na to ay pwede na nating isulat na dalawang binomials. Sum at difference ng mga square roots. 2x plus 1 at 2x minus 1. Ito na ngayon ang complete factored form of 20x cubed minus 5x. And next example, number 5. 81x to the 8th power minus 1. Hanapin natin yung square roots ng bawat term. 81, ang square root niya ay 9. X to the 8, ang square root niya ay x to the 4th. 1 naman, ang square root niya ay 1. So, we write the product of the sum and difference ng dalawang square roots natin. 9x to the 4th plus 1 at 9x to the 4th minus 1. Look at the second factor. 9x to the 4th minus 1. Ito ay isang difference of two squares. Kaya pwede pa natin ulit siyang i-factor using that technique. Hanapin natin yung square root ng 9x to the 4th at yung ating 1. Ang square root ng 9x to the 4th ay 3x squared. Ang 1 naman ay 1. Ang final answer na natin, copy muna natin itong first factor natin, 9x to the 4th plus 1. Tapos itong pangalawang factor, which is also a difference of 2 squares, ay magiging 2. Yun yung 3x squared plus 1 at 3x squared minus 1. So this is the complete factored form of 81x to the 8 minus 1. Ayun. In general, the pattern in factoring dots or difference of two squares is this. A squared minus b squared is equal to the quantity a plus b times the quantity a minus b. So, yan yung pattern na kailangan yung i-memorize when you factor dots or difference of two squares. Itong a ay square root ni a squared. Itong b naman ay square root ni b squared. Now, you try this. 16x squared minus 9 and x to the 4th minus 1. So, please comment your answers para malaman natin kung tama yung sagot ninyo or hindi. So, that ends part 2 of factoring polynomials. Don't forget to comment your answers para malaman ko if you've learned something today. See you next time sa third part ng lesson nito. This is Sir Kenneth, ang teacher nyong Matenek. See you sa next math lesson ni Sir Kenchong. Bye guys!